worked with, they would paint watches so that they would glow in the dark. And the substance that they used contained radium in it. And back then, it wasn't as well known that radium was poisonous and deadly. And so the girls were told by their employers to lip dip paint. So they were putting the paintbrushes into their mouths over and over and over. And as we know now, that's really bad. And as you can imagine, many women got sick and many died. Turns out, though, that some people did know that radium was dangerous, and those people were the employers. And so a group of very brave, sickly radium girls took those factories, took their bosses to court, and that became the basis for OSHA, and many labor laws that are in place today are because of the radium girls. So this is an ode to them, to share their story. I encourage you to read about them, because I feel it's a very important one. We don't want to make the same mistakes. So this is called Radium Girls Curie Eleison. In the days when Rosie beckoned girls to join assembly lines, a mixture simply named Undark made wristwatch faces shine, and women with star-spangled hearts sat faithfully in rows, bent to help the boys entrenched stave off those dark shadows. Day by day they all were tasked to paint 200 dials with brushes made of camel hair and radium dust and vials. The numbers on the clocks were painted dainty, slim and slight, so the girls were taught to use their lips to point the bristles tight. The taste was a little foul, but no one really seemed to mind. The pay was more than 3 times what a girl back then could find. Radium was championed, a newfound fount of youth, and the few who knew the dangers kept the public from the truth. For a time each painter prospered, though the work they did was tough, and were delighted when they'd clock out covered in the magic stuff. They'd decorate their drabbest dresses, paint skin so they'd sparkle, no earthly sight quite like a glowing angel in the darkness. Curie Eleison, even lights that shine the brightest will eventually dim, but you never do expect it, just as someone's life begins. As each timepiece passed their nimble fingers, painters dreamed and planned, though they had in fact so very little time left on their hands. Soon these young girls ached as if they'd aged for 80 years, and radiating pain turned into radiating fear. Doctors did their best to treat an unknown malady, but no remedy could keep those bodies from unraveling. So aching turned to limping, and sore mouths began to bleed. Then jaws began to break, and smiles gave way to crumbling teeth. Families became buried beneath doctor bills and loans, and grief like radium began to settle in their bones. Curie Eleison, to have so many sick at once seemed no coincidence, but the company confronted had maintained its innocence. Yet they'd secretly received results that told a different story, and they knew despite their lies that they were liable for the suffering. Those who had enlisted ladies to leave luminescent marks were now working overtime to keep them in the dark. Not a single protocol was changed at all, though there was danger, and alien workers failing fast were easily exchanged for healthy younger women, unsuspecting and naive, who craved to carve their own piece of the great American dream. Now Nothing pierced those stone hearts fortified by corporate greed. Even when the women's own hearts, one by one, had ceased to beat. Curie liaison. I wish that I could tell you that somebody'd found a cure, or that when the court case first came round, the crime was answered for. These women walked among the living, having one foot in the grave. Still they used what fight that they had left, so others could be saved. To this day no one can say how many lives were lost. Had they been sooner taken seriously, it might have cut the cost. You may claim women have been long since elevated in this world, but how can that be? Our ashes still speak louder than our